With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Uptown Charlotte and rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The Panthers kicker, Graham Gano, set and ready to go as we are off from Charlotte. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. The beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll toss it to Penny, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Come on, let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And now it's 2nd down. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Spotlight, please, on Shaq Thompson. I always go back to his time at the University of Washington. Played some minor league baseball in the offseason. Could have been a big-time running back, maybe even a safety, and has settled in as a good, strong outside linebacker in the NFL whose forte is speed.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
And when he's at the top of his game, you see that big smile, that's when you know everything is clicking. That means he's accurate throwing the football. They can't get him down in the run game, and his team is having a whole lot of fun because when they score a touchdown, some fan's going to get lucky and get the game ball.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And that'll make it third down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And free safety Earl Thomas has a list of accomplishments as long as anyone's arm. But the thing I think about with him at all times, no matter what happens in front of him on the defensive end of the ball, he's back there to erase any mistakes that happen. The top guy in the league, as far as I'm concerned, in that category.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. Airing it out for Olsen. They've got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Newton on first down. Forced out to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. The 20. It's caught on the right side at Smith. 23 yards on the play. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
The first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, Newton. On the move to his left. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. 11 more on that one and another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore from 8 yards out. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Gano out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Rashad Penny. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
On first down, Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Penny. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But
there's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A 10-play drive that time, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out.
So into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They go play action now. Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A handoff to Penny. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that. I
know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. And
it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 10-7 our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. A shotgun snap for Newton. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And getting this just shy of midfield, he'll spot it at the 49. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Back 80. Back 80.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Being chased out left. Oh, now he pulls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of reasons why. Runs great routes, has an understanding of what defenses want to do against him, and really has a great determination to go up and get the football. He decides it's his and no one else's.
And he's decided that a lot so far in this. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is caught. First catch by Brandon Marshall. And out across midfield down to the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
I'm sorry, but it's almost unfair. Brandon Marshall can make so many plays, but even when you think he's covered,
he's not.
No, he's really not. He uncovers and makes a play on you and picks up good yardage in doing so.
Wilson now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And just shedding him off there. That's complete. Again, he's got Marshall. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action here on 1st down. And that is incomplete here. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Julius Peppers in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Past the 20. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to, but when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And caught left side, Olsen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he...
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Gano's kick is right through. And that's going to tie us at 13. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Play action. Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much during this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. To throw again is Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And Hill running right through him. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Well, now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
On the ball, on the ball, on the ball, on the ball. Great.
Now Newton on first down. Buying time to his left. And down inside the 15 he goes. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Gun.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Gun.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Back to throw, Newton. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. And Gano's kick is right through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. On second down, here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, a 22. First down now, but that clock rolling. From midfield now, here's Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, Wilson. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
This will be caught at about the 6. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Wilson will throw again. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Mario Addison. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. On second down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out to kick is Janikowski. Thirteen seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. Now a first down throw for Newton. Going up top. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Set. 180.
On first down, Newton. Forced out to his left. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Off play action. Newton steps away. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. From the red zone now, Newton. Broken tackle. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 11. After the interception, here's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. This is Penny. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And Dixon over the middle. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Luke Kuechly able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Now it's Penny. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Keeps himself upright. Steps away to his left. And again the footwork. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Out to his left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. His throw incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, He's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
That's right now. You're set. Like 80.
On 2nd and 10, Newton rolling to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Newton. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And his guys are able to strike for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Gano out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect it.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Julius Peppers in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Play action. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They fake the give. Newton. And that's incomplete.
You don't want to throw away this excellent field position, but that's 2 incomplete passes in a row. Definitely need something big here on 3rd and 10.
Conversely, defense has done a good job on 1st and 2nd down. The coverage has been draped. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
They come out here in the eye. They snap it to Newton. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick, I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter. They begin with a run by Penny, and he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Captain Munnerlyn, the one who made the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Play action. Now Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Penny. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
This is Carson, and he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Baldwin. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pick up there of 20 yards. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And Dixon has it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Come on, let's go.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And this one complete, right side to Funchess. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Newton on 1st down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
3rd and long. It's Newton. He's going to run, but he's got Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. On second down, here's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Wilson to throw on third down. And that is incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
To throw on second down is Newton. Over the middle to Smith. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it, because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers. Everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. Funches with a catch over the middle. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if it's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter if he needs to make those plays. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nazir Jones able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
This is taken at its 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Mario Addison in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. That's exactly what happened on that play.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, here's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. On third down, it's Carson, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He lost 2, and it brings up 4. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Fielded just inside the 20. Look at the dance and the juke. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaunt. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Charlotte, good night, everybody.